Welcome to Safe Investing. So for this week, is TSM an opportunity? So in the last episode, I talked about Corsair. And recently, Nasdaq is going downwards. And since Corsair is a growth stock, its price is continuing to drop. So if you haven't seen that video, please check it out because I think Corsair is a very good opportunity right now. So here's some background information about TSM. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, is the largest foundry in the world right now, and currently it's producing 7nm chips for AMD and is also producing chips for NVIDIA. And starting this year, which already started in January, is producing the Apple M1 chips for Apple. So it has lots of customers, and in the near future, Qualcomm right now already decided to use TSM to produce their laptop chips as well as possibly their phone chips as well, and this will be more confirmed later on in the year. And also there's a rumor saying that Intel may use TSM to produce their 5nm or 7nm and possibly even 3nm chips right now, but these are rumors. And as of now, TSM has no competition, so it's a very solid company right now. So on Friday, TSM closed at $115.74, making it a relatively low point on the 6-month graph and definitely on the 1-month graph. So currently, TSM I think is a pretty good opportunity at this price, but due to its recent earnings and how it missed its earnings, but its revenue beat, and also in the next forecast is much better, but still it missed its earnings. So I think that there's still some room for TSM to drop, possibly to 110. It would be an even better entry point for TSM than it is right now. But if you don't have any, then it might be a good chance for you to just buy a few shares at this price. So as for earnings, the Q2 earnings for TSM was 93 cents. And the past 12 months, the earnings per share was $3.79. And for the next quarter, the Q3 EPS estimate is at $1.04, which is relatively good. It's much higher than it is currently at. So I think that the stock still has a growth trend. But its P ratio for a semiconductor company, for a foundry company, if you compare it to companies like UMC and definitely Intel as well, and even to Broadcom and Texas Instruments, its P ratio of over 30 is honestly a bit high. It's higher than Apple's P ratio right now, so for earnings I can only give it a 7 out of 10. The dividends for TSM, if you compare it to AMD or NVIDIA, is really good, but if you compare it to Intel or to Broadcom, to Qualcomm and the Texas Instrument, I would say the dividends, it's at its best. I'll give it a 5 out of 10 because $1.78 for a stock that's over $100 is not great. The reason why I still recommend TSM, even though its earnings aren't great, is that it has a pretty strong growth. And right now it's currently manufacturing 7nm chips, but in the future it will manufacture the 5nm, then the 3nm, and TSM is relatively ahead of Intel right now. But if Intel does manage to catch up, then TSM will face some pretty heavy consequences to that. But as of now, TSM is still a long way ahead, and recently TSM is starting to manufacture semiconductors for Qualcomm and possibly for Intel in the future too. So there's a lot of growth opportunity for TSM, and also there's a high demand for semiconductors right now. So I believe that TSM is a pretty good opportunity. So for growth, I would give it a 10 out of 10. The overall rating for TSM, I would say, is a 7.5 out of 10. I think that TSM is a pretty good company to purchase right now if you don't have any. And if we do have any, we could wait until the price drops even further. But overall, I think that TSM is still in its upward trend right now. I think that it possibly could reach 130s by the end of the year if all goes well for Nasdaq. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video is helpful. Remember to invest safely.